Welcome back to another episode of I found some more broken junk for free. Well, not quite free, it was $30, but hey, that's close enough for me. It is a really good condition, fairly rust-free, 22-inch Bolens snowblower. It is sort of broken. It starts first pull, runs awesome, the auger works, but the drive does not work. And I didn't even know this, but this thing doesn't use a friction disc. It's really more of a differential with an engagement. As you can see, there's only, it's a 1-speed forward. I've already started taking it apart, that's why there's no cable there, but you've got your auger impeller and your drive, no reverse, which is fine. Reason I got so fired up about this thing and ran across town to pick it up is because of how small it is. It is, if I measure to the wheel, about 28.5 inches, which for scale, this snowblower had a 31-inch cutting path. Here she is. That's it. Tiny. It's like the size of 2 beer cans. Belt drives this. Here's the engagement, which goes up to the handlebars, which is supposed to tie it all together. And then this drives a bigger gear, which turns the wheels across the bigger gear, and then out to the wheels. All right, folks, moment of truth. I should mention, you cannot even buy rebuild kits for these things. All right, I just got this thing popped out. Thought I'd go back a little bit and explain what's going on here. This is the arm that applies pressure on this, which kind of squeezes it all together. And then that's what engages this bronze gear to the shaft. Now we can take the bits off. Try and do this in order. Might be hard to tell on the video, but there's like a ramp. It's like a ramp, a small flat spot, and then a ramp on the other side where these guys sit. So that's going to be the tricky part, finding this gear. All right, folks, I knew I said I was going to try to fix this, but honestly, after looking high and low for the company that makes these things, the best I could do was find a company that custom makes gears, and frankly, it's not worth it. The other thing I thought of doing was putting this thing together as a fixed unit, and then using a belt tensioner to control the slip. And then I thought, again, by the time I cobbled together all the pulleys and shafts and gears at $5 and $10 and $20 a piece, it's going to add up to $185 anyway, which is what a replacement costs. These guys, they're not stupid. They make it expensive enough to be really annoying, but cheap enough to make you not want to just throw out a perfectly good snowblower. Here she is. You gotta put the gear on the shaft. We'll start with that. After you beat the pin out, or delicately remove it, I suppose. Hopefully, slide it off. Oh man, look at that. So, second hole, stick it on there. I could put anti-seize on it, but then I'd have to walk back over to the shelf. There we go. Before you go ahead and jam this in there and make everything hard to reach, don't forget to put your cable back on. Stick it through the slit. Just kind of jam it in. This just goes in, come see, come sa. On either end of these things, they get the plastic bushings that you removed and that you did not lose. Also, don't forget to feed this thing through the hole, otherwise you'll be yelling at it later. There we go. So now that that's in, put the belt on. That's pretty easy. Bushings on either ends. The reason I have it laying on its side is because I've got gas in this thing, and if I tip it up on the front end like you're supposed to, gas pours out of it. Spring connects to underneath this nut to over here somewhere. There we go. Easy. Undercoating would probably be the best thing to use here, but at the moment all I've got is chain lube. So I'm gonna make a huge mess. And the nice thing about this stuff is it kind of gels up, so it's not gonna leak out and make a big mess all over my garage floor. All right, mission accomplished. Hopefully that was helpful for one or two of you guys. Really not too bad. Kind of sucks that this happens, seemingly common, although if there's 20 people complaining about it, but they've sold 1,000, is that common? I do have a theory though. This one is in excellent condition and it was pretty badly stripped out, as you saw. But check this out. The scraper is on the ground, meaning this thing probably had a hard but short life, which could have led to that gear being stripped out. I'm gonna raise it up, maybe put a 1/4-inch gap under it, and I'm hoping that with that gap, it won't get hung up quite so often, which will take a lot of the stress off of that worm gear. That's it for now. Good luck with yours.